Rise and shine, and welcome back to another episode of Record Reviews, number 9, I believe it is. Yeah, welcome back. Same deal as always, reviewing a record. So without further ado, I'm gonna go spin the wheel. We're gonna find out what we're reviewing today, and then yeah, we'll get to the review. So yeah.
A million miles away, is the ice still in the river? Are the old folks still the same? By the way, did she mention my name? Did she mention my name? Just in passing.
Oh my goodness. Alright, so, well, as you noticed, we got Gord's Gold by Gord and Lightfoot. This one's gonna be interesting. I love Gord and Lightfoot. I love his music, but my biggest concern with this album is this is a big one. This is a big one. It's two-sided. It's two discs, should I say. So that means that this is the first record we've had where it's actually not just one disc, but it's actually two. So that's 22 songs. This one might be a little longer than typical ones, cause yeah, no, this is a lot of music. So yeah, I don't want to waste anybody's time. I'm gonna go pop this in right now. We're gonna see how long this video ends up being, cause this is gonna be an interesting time. But yeah, I'm gonna go pop in Gord's Gold right now. Give it a listen. This is gonna be like an hour, but I'll be back right after that. So yeah, see you then.
Every highway, you slip away on you.
Okay, well, I just got done listening to Gord's Gold from Gord and Lightfoot. On this album, slight little note about it, it's actually a compilation of most of Gordon's better known songs. So it's kind of like a best of in a way, but honestly, like, there's 22 tracks on it. It's a lot. It's a lot of music. But it is mainly it's just compilations of his previous works, except there are a couple where he weirdly combines a couple songs and like recorded them together, but most of it is from previous albums brought in, which makes this like a big collection of his like greatest songs and just a lot of his top songs. But yeah, this review is gonna be tough. I just got back from listening to it, and my God, I love Gord and Lightfoot's music so much. He's one of the main like folk singers that I really latched onto, and I'm just such a huge fan of. Just his voice is incredible. It's unique, and it's so unique and just so different. Like you won't hear someone similar to Gord and Lightfoot. You just won't. It's how he is, how he sounds. It's difficult to replicate, which just makes his songs so unique. Man, this review is picking a best side and picking a best song and picking a worst side and worst song is just gonna be, jeez. Yeah, no, good album though. incredible album. If you're a fan of folk music, if you haven't heard Gordon Lightfoot, I am amazed, because there's no way, if you like folk music, you haven't listened to Gordon Lightfoot. But if you do like, even if you like some of his songs, like some of his more recognizable songs around here, like Sundown and If You Could Read My Mind, if you like some of those songs, listen to this album. This is just so good. So good. Alright, now, when it comes to sides, I have decided to break this up, and I have decided to challenge myself more than I intended to, because I felt like it would be kind of a cop-out if I just decided to do one of them. So I'm going to do all of it. I'm going to rank every side, which means I'm going to have to go through every song on here, which I kind of was already going to do. So I'm going to go through each side song by song, and then afterwards I'm going to rank them, and then we'll get to like best worst song. But I'm gonna try and talk about each song. We're gonna see. Some of the songs I remember really well. Some of them I listened to them a ton. Some of them it's like my first time listening to them. I have not listened to this entire album in full before, so this is a great time. I found 2 songs that I latched onto and love, and added to a playlist, added to my like list on Spotify. But but that's why some songs I might talk a lot about. Some songs I might have less to say about them, for obvious reasons, considering they're my first time listening to them and still kind of processing it. But yeah. So when looking at side 1, the first song that it starts with is I'm Not Saying / Ribbon of Darkness. This is one of the ones where I said it was kind of recorded differently. So I'm Not Saying / Ribbon of Darkness is 2 songs that Gordon Lightfoot made, but he decided to kind of mesh them together. Like it starts with him doing the I'm not saying I'm not saying that I love you, or however it goes. It's that song. And then it leads into Ribbon of Darkness, which is Ribbon of Darkness over me. And I really enjoy it. It's interesting because those are some of his older songs from, I believe, the 60s. I believe that's when he did these. But he kind of re-records them and he combines them together, and I think it works really well. So I think that one's just a solid song to start off the entire album with, because it's fun. The next one is Song for a Winter's Night. This one's good. This one's just it's a solid song. It has fun little sleigh bells in it. I always love listening to this one. It's a good time. Then Canadian Railroad Trilogy. Trilogy I always find interesting whenever it's in a song title, because it makes me think of Loggins and Messina's trilogy, but that song's 11 minutes. This one's only, I believe, 6. But it does kind of follow a structure where you can definitely notice that the song is changing, like because it's entitled Trilogy. It definitely has different parts to it. Like it's just like 3 different songs, but kind of meshed together, and it's like you can really see the story that's being created in like the 6 minutes, and I love that. I love that a ton. Then after that we have Softly. Softly is okay. It's Gordon Lightfoot doing more of like a higher pitch kind of slower song, which isn't personally my favorite, but still it's an incredible song. I enjoyed it from when I heard it. And then the last one on side 1 is For Lovin' Me / Did She Mention My Name. This is another situation where he combined 2 songs. This is actually the last time he does this on the album, which is kind of neat. But For Lovin' Me, that's what you get for Lovin' Me. That one's kind of interesting, especially to lead into Did She Mention My Name. So the kind of story of For Lovin' Me, like if you listen to the lyrics, it's just like, that's what you get for loving me. Your heart is broken now. You shouldn't have fallen in love with me. One of the lines is like, I've met 100 more like you, so don't be blue. It'll be 1,000 before I'm through. So you can tell that he really, it's just this idea of you shouldn't have dated me. I just go through people, literally. And then, but it transitions then into Did She Mention My Name? Which is a song where it's, the idea is, when paying attention to the lyrics, Gordon is talking to a friend, who they like, Gordon's moved somewhere. This is all hypothetical, from the song, but, Gordon's moved somewhere and he's talking to his friend and he's like, yeah, how's life at home? Is everything still the same? Like, one of the lines is like, is the home team still on fire? Do they still win all the games? But it ends with, but by the way, did she mention my name? And I think it's really fun that he combined those two songs together. I think it's neat because the first part, it seems like he's just this completely remorseless villain in a way, where he's like, you shouldn't have dated me. I'm going to keep going. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. And then it transitions over to, but did she mention my name just in passing? Did she mention me at all? It's an interesting contrast, and I really appreciate it, especially for closing out side 1. Then when looking at side 2 kicks off with Affair on 8th Avenue. This one's solid. It's another slower one from Gordon Lightfoot, and I enjoy it. I think it's completely fine. I think it's a solid Gordon Lightfoot song. It really resembles a lot of his other music, and I like it a lot. Then after that, we have Steel Rail Blues. I love Steel Rail Blues so much. Oh my goodness. So the song, I'll probably play a little bit. It'll probably be one of the music sections within this video because it's just one of my favorites. But though not to say that I will put it as the best. But Steel Rail Blues, it's this story where it's another, I'm gonna say Gordon every time, but it's like this character who is in a town. He misses his girlfriend or wife, his woman, the person that he is romantically involved with, and he misses her so much that he wants to head back to her. So the entire song is basically around this idea of, well, it's called Steel Rail Blues, but it's like steel rail, take me home to my girl. It's the idea that he's going to get on a train because his girlfriend's or his significant other sent him tickets to get on the train and head back home to her. So he goes through and he's talking about how much he misses her, and then right at the end, you're like, why is this called Steel Rail Blues? He's gonna go meet his girlfriend. Like, he obviously misses her, her significant other. He's gonna go meet her. And then right at the end, it mentions the part where he's like, I gambled my ticket away. And now the steel rails won't take me home to the one I love. And you're just like, oh my goodness. And just, I love the sound of it. I love the little story. It's like a little blues story, and it's like a little sad, and you're just like, oh, I love it. I love it so much. I love this album, and I love a lot of the songs on this album, and that one is particularly one of my favorites. Then after that, we have Wherefore and Why. I love this one. It's nice, upbeat. It's like, come on, sunshine. And it's so great. It's this one's a more fun one, obviously, but it's so fun. It's a good time. Then after that, we have Bitter Green. Bitter Green is another first listen for me, as was Affair on 8th Avenue. I'd never heard those before, but Bitter Green was good. I liked it. I liked it a bit more than I actually liked Affair on 8th Avenue. It was good. I liked the chorus of Bitter Green, always coming back with backup vocalists. I enjoyed that little detail, and I really liked Bitter Green. So I think that was a solid song on the album. Then after that, the last song of side 2 is Early Morning Rain. Early Morning Rain is interesting. This one he re-recorded for the album. He didn't actually use his previous recording. He actually re-recorded himself singing it for Gord's Gold, which I kind of understood because I went back and listened to the original one, and that one's from about the 60s. And Gordon Lightfoot definitely, he changed as an artist. Obviously, a lot of artists do as they keep going. But specifically his voice, originally when he was doing some of his older songs, you could tell he was kind of going for like a country almost sound. And personally, I'm not the biggest fan of country music. But I love folk music, which people are always like, well, country and folk is like the same thing. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It always scares me whenever I see something that says country/folk, like an artist that says country/folk. I'm like, I don't know how much I trust that. But in any case, this song, when he re-recorded it, I love how he did it. I love how he did it. I believe the original is fine. I believe the original way he did it is fine. I believe this might be a cover, actually, though I could be wrong. But I love the way they re-recorded it, and I love his delivery of the song. It's just an incredible song. This is another top one on the album. But yeah, so that rounds off side 2. Now we get to side 3. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh my goodness. Alright, so side 3 or side 2 on disc 2. Nope, side 1 on disc 2. There we go. Almost didn't correct myself there. Okay, so starts with Minstrel of Dawn. I liked Minstrel of Dawn. That was a really, really fun one. It was a good song. It was such a good song. Then after that, we get into Sundown, which is Gordon Lightfoot's probably his most popular song. Incredible song. Just, it's so good. It's so good with the backing vocals. You can tell why it's his most popular song, and I really can't sum it up in words. I really can't give you much other than listen to it if you haven't, because it's an incredible song. Then after that we have Beautiful. Beautiful is another popular one for Gordon Lightfoot. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. I like the message. I like the idea. I like the song where it's like, you know, you don't know how beautiful you are. You are so beautiful. How could I say anything than you are beautiful? And then the song ending with him saying, I'm so happy that I am the one who gets to call you beautiful. I love that. I love that message. I love that little story bit there. But the song itself, I've just never been a fan of how it sounds, and I don't know why that is, but it's just one that hasn't really clicked with me in the way that it sounds. So yeah, that's Beautiful for me. Then we have Summer Side of Life. I adore this song. This one was nice, upbeat. This is the first time I've ever heard this one too, but I had such a fun time with this one. This one was great. Summer Side of Life was so fun. Then after that, ironically, we go from Summer Side of Life to Rainy Day People. Rainy Day People, this one's nice. It's got that idea that I kind of like, where it's like, not necessarily, like, okay, it talks about rainy day people, the idea of rainy day people, people who exist for rainy days. And it's like, they don't care if you cry cry a tear or two. And it's like, it's so nice. It's just like this idea that, like, yeah, people can get sad, and that is okay. You're gonna have moments where you get sad, and there are people who have experienced that, and in this case, it's rainy day people who are there, and they feel that element of a rainy day, where it's just like coming down on you, and you're just like, oh god. But it's okay, and I love that. If you couldn't tell, I'm quite a bit of fan. And then after that we have Cotton Jenny. Cotton Jenny's a fun song. It's another fun one. This is another first time listening to this one for me, and I loved it. It was another fun one. This one and Summer Side of Life were two really good ones for me, to the point where that's the ones I was talking about adding to a playlist, because they were good. I really enjoyed them. I liked how they sounded, and I thought it fit perfectly. So yeah, that goes for side 3 or side 1 of disc 2. All right, and then we lead off with the final side 2 of disc 2. This time, this is actually side 2 of disc 2. Starting off with
Don Quixote.
Don Quixote. Yep, okay. Starting off with Don Quixote, I love this song. This one's a fun one. It's actually based off of, it's a famous story. It's like, it's a famous, like, little book series. It's interesting. Like, it is a Spanish epic novel that, Gordon Lightfoot, who is a Canadian, folk singer, decided to write about, and why not? So that's what the song is kind of about. It's about the character of Don Quixote, and it's a good song. I really enjoy it. Then Circle of Steel. Circle of Steel is cool, except there's a little bit in it. This one's a good one. This one's actually from the Sundown album that has Sundown on it, which is another album that I have, which we might be covering at some point. Regarding Circle of Steel, it's an interesting time, because like, you listen to it and you're like, okay, this is like, it's kind of like a Christmas song almost, and then it gets to the point where it's like a little chorus bit, and it says Deck the Halls, and it's talking about the song Deck the Halls, and it's talking about how Deck the Halls was playing, but it sounds like Deck the Halls starts playing. So when I was listening to it, I was like, something changed? Are we listening to something else now? Is he doing Christmas? No, it was just a part of the song, but it was something that like threw me for a loop and was one of the things I remembered most from the song. Then after that we have Old Dan's Records. I love Old Dan's Records so much. It's a fun little song where it's like, it's the character within the song, which I'll just say Gordon again. Gordon's talking to like it must be his family, or it's a group of people, and the whole premise of the song is, let's get out Old Dan's records and listen to him. He would love to know that we're listening to him right now. Like, it's like, if Old Dan could see us now, I know he'd shout out loud. That's, I believe, a line from the song. And that's just, it's fun to me just to think about, like, let's play the records that this guy had from a long time ago so we can cherish his memory, and God, if he was only here. I think that's a perfect, like, little memoriam. And I love that idea of just, you're listening to a person's records, or a person who bought a lot of records, and let's play some of his records. Let's have a good time in memory of him, and I think that's so much fun. Then after that, If You Could Read My Mind, this is a very popular one from Gordon Lightfoot. If You Could Read My Mind is, from my research, it's written about his relationship with his ex-wife, which you could tell didn't go incredibly. But one, like, fascinating thing about the song is, so the original recording, has a line, I believe it's just trying to understand the feelings that you lack. And that's him talking about her. And, Gordon Lightfoot's daughter, requested that anytime he performed the song, he change that line to the feelings that we lack. Because she felt that it was really harsh on her mother, which, yeah, that line's pretty brutal. Like, I mean, just imagine talking about, like, I mean, obviously, you know, things didn't work well with the relationship, and it's like, if you could read my mind, what a story my thoughts would tell, but stories always end. And it's just this idea of things could have worked, but they can't. Something's changed, and we can't get back the way we once were. And it's a powerful song, but I do think that line is just crazy to sit. Like, listening to it now, anytime I hear it, I'm just like, ooh, yeah, oh my goodness. Okay, Gordon. Then after that, we have Cold on the Shoulder. I like Cold on the Shoulder. It's a good, like, little song. It's just a fun one. It's another fun one on the album. I don't have a ton to say about it, honestly. It's just a really good song. And then the song, or the album ends with Carefree Highway. That's the last song of the album. Carefree Highway, another song that's on the Sundown album itself, but is the closer for the Sundown album and also the closer for this one. But Carefree Highway is such a good song. It's just like this idea of just let me ride out Carefree Highway, let me slip away on you, and it's just like this little journey, this little send-off, and I think it's a perfect conclusion to the album. Alright, now it gets to the hard part. So, I have sat down and I've thought about this quite a bit. So, regarding albums, got the discs right here, the vinyl themselves. So, I believe that the best side, best album, little bit, is the final one. I believe that, of album 2, side 4, which is weird that it says album 2, side 4. I feel like it would be album 2, side 2, but whatever. It says side 2 on that, but it doesn't. It says side 4 on this, so who knows? In any case, I believe that this is the superior side. I believe that this is the best side of the album, because it just has, like, insanely good songs. Like, it starts, I forgot the pronunciation again. It starts with Dawn, that one. I'm so sorry. But it starts with that song. It's an incredible song. Then Circle of Steel, I think, is good. I don't listen to it a ton, but I think it's a really good song. Then after that, you have Old Dan's Records, which I love. Then you have If You Could Read My Mind, which is an incredible song. Then you have Cold on the Shoulder, which I think is incredible as well. And then it finishes out with Carefree Highway, and I think that that is just a incredible send-off. I believe that that's just the perfect send-off to the album. Now, when looking at the runner-up, the second place of sides. I think this is probably going to be mostly personal preference, but I think I will have to give it to album 1, side 2, so the second side of the first disc. I think I have to give it to this one because I just love the song so much. Affair on 8th Avenue is the only one where I think that one's okay. I don't think it's as incredible as the others, but I think that one's good. Then it has Steel Rail Blues, which I just love personally so much. Then it has Wherefore and the Why, which I think is incredible as well. Then it has Bitter Green, which is good. I think that's incredibly solid. And then it has Early Morning Rain, which I just think is so good. So I think for that reason, I would have to put this one, this side 2 of the first one, as a good second place. I think this is a good second place. Yeah, this is definitely a solid second place. Okay, and now here comes the bronze medal, the third place side, which I would have to give to album 1, side 1. So the first disc, first side. This one, I just think it's incredibly solid, and I'll explain why the fourth one got the 4th place. It's not even that bad. Like, honestly, like, these are all incredible. I cannot say that any of these deserve, like, even the worst side on here, I would still suggest you listen to it. I would absolutely I think you should listen to it no matter what, because it is incredible. But this one contains I'm Not Saying / Ribbon of Darkness, which I think is just a good mesh of 2 songs. Then Song for a Winter's Night, which I love. Then Canadian Railroad Trilogy, which I think is really good. I really like that one. I like the different peaks and valleys that it has within it, and I think that it's just a really solid song. Then Softly, which is a bit slower and not necessarily my preferred song, but I think it's still good. Then For Lovin' Me / Did She Mention My Name, which I think is another great meshing of 2 songs together, and I think it's incredible. I think that all of this is incredible. So I think that is why side 1 of album 1 takes that spot. It takes the 3rd place spot, which leaves the 4th place spot going to album 2, side 3, or side 1 of the second disc. Now, this isn't even fair because, like, it's just a matter of opinion. But so the songs on this one are Minstrel of the Dawn, which I did look back at, and this one is a slower song. Not personally my favorite, but it's still solid. Just another slower song from Gordon. Then after it's Sundown, which, like, Sundown's so good. It's like this is the worst one. This is the worst one, the worst side, and it has Sundown on it. Like, I don't know how that happened. It just shows you the pure quality of this entire album. Then after that is Beautiful. Beautiful, I don't mesh with well, but I think it's okay. Listening to it alongside this album, it's fine. It's completely fine. Then Summer Side of Life, which I love. I think that's a fun, upbeat song. Then Rainy Day People, which is another great one. And then ending off with Cotton Jenny. So even still, and I love Cotton Jenny too. So this side, even though it got 4th place, it got the worst one. It's the worst out of a best batch. Like, I mean, that's happened a lot. I've always talked about how there's just incredible options everywhere when it comes to this. And this literally had 2 discs on it, and all of the discs are incredible. So I can't sing this album's praises enough, but yeah, no, it's just good. It's just so good. Alrighty, now we get to the tough parts. Tough part of, well, I mean, all of this has been tough, but now we get to best and worst song and the runner-up. I've always been including the runner-up, so I'm going to keep going with that. So, starting off, we'll do worst song because I feel like that's going to be significantly easier, because there were very few songs that I didn't care for, but if I had to say worst song of the album, I would have to give it to Beautiful. I think it's fine. It's an okay song. It's totally fine. I love the message of it. But listening to it, I just can't get behind it. It's just something where it just doesn't click with me. And I love it. I love it for its message. I love everything around it, but the song itself, just not a huge fan. So I would have to put Beautiful as the worst song of the album, but it's not a bad song either. So, I mean, who can complain? This is an insane little lineup. So, then regarding the runner-up was a bit harder, but for me, I think I'd have to go with Softly. It's just another situation where it's a slower song from Gordon Lightfoot, and I think it's okay. I think it's totally fine that songs can be slower, and I think that that's okay. But it's still something where it's like, I don't necessarily care for it. It's just how it sounds. It's just not that great to me. I just think that, and he can have slow songs, just some of these, just with the way he also does his vocals, like the way he decides to deliver a lot of the lines, I don't know. I don't care for it, but yeah, that's where I'd have to give, or that's where I'd put it. I would put it at the runner-up of the worst. Oh, we're getting a little visitor on our... Okay, you can hop up there. But yeah, so in conclusion, Bella's helping out with the review. In conclusion, I'd have to give worst song. She doesn't like this. I'd have to give the worst song as Beautiful, and then the runner-up for worst song as Softly. Now we get to the really tough part. This is regarding the best song of the album. This album has a ton of incredible songs, so I'm gonna list some of them, and I'm gonna try and narrow it down. So, from the first side, I'm not gonna include any, even though I love the first side a ton, just for simplicity's sake, because I think that I like a lot more that aren't on the first side, but the first side's still good. But so then regarding side 2, I would definitely put Steel Rail Blues, which is just a really personal favorite of mine. And then I would also put Early Morning Rain. I think his rendition of Early Morning Rain is incredible. So those are 2. Then when we get to side 3, I'd definitely put Sundown in there because it's Sundown. Then I don't think we'll put any more up there just for simplicity's sake, because this is already hard enough to narrow these down. Then on side 2, we'll put If You Could Read My Mind and Carefree Highway. So that's 5. So I'm going to try and cut these down. I'm going to try and knock these out as best I can. So we're going to start off with number 5, Early Morning Rain. I'm going to put Early Morning Rain there. I love Early Morning Rain. I think it's incredible. I don't know. I think that these other songs, they have a little bit more to them than Early Morning Rain does. I don't know. There's something about Early Morning Rain that I feel like there could be more to it, but there just isn't. There's just, I don't know. I don't know how to necessarily describe it. A lot of this is just how I feel, or the feelings that I lack. But in any case, that's why I'd have to put that one at 5th. Then 4th, I'm going to put Carefree Highway. I think Carefree Highway is good. I really enjoy Carefree Highway. It's such a good little send-off. But I still think that these other songs are better than it, so that's where I will put Carefree Highway. I'll put that as the 4th song of the album, 4th best. Then we get down to 3rd, the Bronze Medal. And I will give the Bronze Medal... Some may not like this. I will give the Bronze Medal to Sundown. Yeah. It's incredibly popular. It's his most popular song, and I totally get why. It's an incredible song. But I do prefer the 2 others above it, so that narrows it down to the final 2, which is Steel Rail Blues and If You Could Read My Mind. Apologies for that little cat attack that we had right there. Are you sorry, Bella? What? What? You attacked me! Hop up here. Okay, you can join in on the review. So I've narrowed it down to the final 2. Here's Bella. She's the troublemaker knocking down my fragile little stand. So I've knocked it down to my final 2. And I believe that 2nd place, the silver medal, goes to Steel Rail Blues. I know, it was kind of surprising. I didn't think I'd put it there. I thought I would for sure say it's the best one. And I love Steel Rail Blues so much. It's such a simple little song. Like, it's not incredibly long. It's so simple and compact, but yet just great. I love it. I love it so much. But I think If You Could Read My Mind is better. I think that one is just the top. And maybe not even the top Gordon Lightfoot song, because I still think I have one favorite one that isn't actually on Gord's Gold, which is kind of surprising to me that it wasn't, because I do have a song that I like more that's from Gordon Lightfoot, but isn't on this, and instead is actually on the Sundown album. But in any case, I'd have to give it to If You Could Read My Mind. I think that one is just, it's just incredible. Comparing just this disconnect between lovers and taking it and comparing it to If You Could Read My Mind, if you could understand how I could feel, and just comparing it to like a movie or a book or a novel, but then stories, they always end. It's just like, some of the lyrics, some of the choices that Gordon Lightfoot made words wise, it's incredible. It's just so incredible. So that's why I would have to give that the best song of this album, oh my goodness, I held it wrong, Gord's Gold. So yeah, If You Could Read My Mind, top song of the album, Steel Rail Blues, silver medal. I believe that will do it for this one. Oh my goodness, this was a long one, and I'm sorry if this is just like insanely long. Hopefully the next one shouldn't be. But before we conclude this video, I have decided to switch up the style of my mistakes. I've decided to switch up the way that I'm doing this. I've decided to change a little aspect. It's been a little suggestion from some of the people who watch the videos, two in particular, but they've suggested me to change the when the wheel spins. Instead of spinning it at the beginning of the video, spinning it at the end of the previous review to get you ready for the next review. And I think that's a great idea, because the one thing I didn't think about was, I haven't really put together, is the fact that I make thumbnails for these videos where it says like record review and it's my stupid little face going. But in those, you just know what album I'm reviewing next. So what's the point of finding out within the video if it's going to be on the thumbnail anyways, and it's going to be literally the title of the video. So I thought that was a pretty good idea. I think that makes a lot of sense. So what I'm actually going to do is, to conclude this video, I'm going to send it on over to the wheel, and we will be finding out what we're reviewing next week. So let's send it on over to the wheel. So it looks like the next album we will be reviewing, give me a second, it's in this fun little plastic right here, is Foreigner's Double Vision. This one I don't know if I've listened to actually all the way through. I know some of the songs on it, obviously, like Double Vision. But yeah, this one should be a fun one next time. So yeah, look forward for that, I guess, if you want to watch the next one or not. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around to this, and I really doubt anybody did, but hey, if you did, that's cool. That's super cool that you actually made it all the way to the end of hearing my insane ramblings. But yeah, get ready. Next one is going to be Foreigner's Double Vision, and I will see you guys then. So yeah, bye.
Steel rail to carry me home to the one I love.